Alright guys, welcome to my Dramaha video. This is a Dramaha free roll on Seals with Club site. So here we go. I started this free roll, I late registered, so they sat me mid-hand on someone else, or perhaps I folded and started my record button a little bit late, but fairly certain this is my first hand. For starters, how did I find this game? I first heard about this game this summer. I was at the World Series of Poker talking to this Jeremy guy, I believe his name was. And I told him I wished I could play Deuce to 7 more. So he told me about this site and said it had Deuce to 7 on it. And then in a separate conversation, he happened to see Norman Chad nearby. The Norman Chad who, with Lon McCarran, did all the World Series main event coverage, and to this day he does a lot of it for the main event and for other final tables of the World Series of Poker. But yeah, apparently they were talking about Dramaha. I honestly it sounded cool, but I had no desire to really seek this game out. But I went on this site for Deuce to 7 single draw, which will be my next video, by the way, and found this Dramaha tournament. So yeah, Dramaha, I'm definitely not an expert on it. I've never looked up strategy for it. It's a split pot game. You're dealt 5 cards and you play that like a 5-card draw hand, and it's fused with PLO. You get a flop turn river and you get to make your best PLO hand, so you play your best 2 cards. So yeah, I don't know how it goes in 5-card draw, but if you discard 1 card, you have a chance to decline it and get a new one. But you have to show your card. I think either way, when you draw 1, you have to show your card to everybody else, which I like that. Like I said, I don't know if there's any variation of 5-card draw that had you do that, but to me, that should be a roll in normal 5-card draw. That game, because there's just, I don't know. I don't know much about the game. I've only played 5-card draw straight a few times in my life, roughly 20 years ago on Poker Stars, and I just never liked 5-card draw. It's too hard to figure out what anybody has in too many situations, you know? So it seems like maybe it's too luck based. Yeah, there's some skill, but I think it's too luck based. There's just too much that could happen. If you get a 2-pair and 5-card draw, who knows? Who knows what that means? There's so many combos of 2 pairs that they could have that are better. You just don't know. Um, but I'm sure there's a good, you could find yourself an edge in it if you like any poker game. But with that being said, um, I do like displaying 1 card. I do believe it's good to give people more information. So Deuce to 7 single draw it might sound more complicated to people than 5-card draw, but since it's a low ball game, but effectively playing the lowest hand actually reduces people's ranges and makes the game way easier, in my opinion, than 5-card draw. So I really do like Deuce to 7. I do not really like 5-card draw on its own, but I do love the component of 5-card draw in this game. It is very fun. In fact, again, no expert at this game, but I believe if you were to favor one hand versus the other in this game, you'd want to favor your 5-card hand as opposed to I'll just call it the PLO hand. I don't know any terminology. I'm just kind of making it up, but we'll say you have the draw hand and then the PLO hand. We'll try to stick to those. All right, so this hand looks like I had a gut shot straight draw. If I miss, I'm probably hopeless in this hand. I hit it, fairly lucky, seems like. I mean, that's obviously very lucky. Like a 15% chance of hitting that with two cards, I think. Um, so yeah, this probably try to bet the guy off a chop. I have no hope of winning the PLO hand. See what happens. Straight, definitely a strong hand. Better than average. Kind of hard to get beat by a straight, but obviously can happen. But I would say any given straight, probably 90% equity. Not just a straight, like even like trips. If you're dealt trips or better, you probably have a 90% chance or more against any unknown hand. Totally guessing, but it feels that way from my limited experience. Um, but yeah, as far as starting ranges, I don't. It's easy to know when you have an amazing hand. Obviously, like I said, if you get dealt even two pair feels like very probable win too. Maybe not 90%, but probably up there, like 75, 80% equity for the five card hand if you're dealt two pair alone. Where it starts to get beautiful is if you're dealt like, similar to like a four or five card PLO hand. You want like, I mean, the dream hand would probably be two suited ace kings. So you have two pair of aces and kings and they're both suited. That's probably what the best hand looks like. It's probably even better than a full house in this. Like, you'd probably rather have a full house dealt to you than quads in this game. Dramaha, given the split pot. But I actually don't know. I mean, obviously, if you got dealt quads, you're locked up for the draw hand, but its playability is not as good for the PLO hand. So I would think like three aces, two kings with double suits is probably the best Dramaha hand. But I honestly have never looked it up. I'm just guessing. And most of the way I approach this game is based off of how I would approach PLO. Which disclaimer, I'm definitely no pro at PLO. So my background on PLO is basically I never used to play it at all, and now I'm willing to play it like heads up. I find heads up PLO to be fun. I can keep up with that. Like a full table, I that's overwhelming to me. Too many cards to try to think about. Um, like I don't think I could ever play it well. It would take me too long and too much money to get good at it. Because I feel like, yeah, just playing a full PLO game, you probably just have to, yeah, I don't know how you would find good bluffs. I could understand like sitting and waiting for really good hands, but I think that's too exploitable. I think you have to find, in any poker game, you have to find good bluffs and capitalize on all of them to really have an edge, enough to beat the house rig. So I'm a long way off from that in PLO. But for this game, yeah, I would probably get murdered if I was playing against good players. We'll be honest. Um, or just not getting lucky. I feel like in this tournament, you're going to see I probably had above average luck for sure. But with that being said, I know I definitely did some things right. And I know my mistakes were probably more on the marginal side. So, like on a hand like this, I'm probably going to end up folding it unless I hit a straight or something on the PLO board. Um, See, this one, it's like I don't think you would ever want to get rid of an open-ended draw for to draw for 2 flush cards. That's just, you're just too far behind. There, I think I kept my hearts for the backdoor flush draw. I don't know if I overvalued that, so maybe it was not worth it to keep that 6. But at the point you draw, you're guaranteed to get a turn card. So with that in mind, oh yeah, that's the thing. If you draw 1, you get 2 cards. Also, like, you have 2 opportunities. So because of that, that causes me to favor backdoor draws a little more because you get 2 shots at it. Um, or excuse me, you get 2 shots to still improve your 5 card hand. So you might as well keep the 1 that helps your backdoor draw, and then also at the stage of discarding, your turn card is free at that point. You're discarding after the betting round on the flop. So, all right, this one, it looks like I have a set. My draw hand is weak, so it looks like I'm just trying to bet him off the chop. Uh, yeah, I made it look like a value bet, but I definitely wanted him to fold. He probably had 4s beat. Maybe not. If you miss a flush or something, and then you're left with a high card often. Right here. So this is kind of like a marginal flop, like both ways. I think you would, if I get to the draw phase, I'm sure I want to keep the jacks. But, like, obviously, I don't think you want to break a pair for a gut shot. Um, could keep the spades for the back door, but it's not even like a nut flush draw, so probably not. Yeah, I agree with that. Oops, I decided the queen was worthless. Now, in hindsight, I probably could have just kept that queen, since I would have got 2 cards anyways. 2 chances anyways. Like a, and the queen had some backdoor chances. Had I paired the queen, I had had a decent 2 pair, and the draw hand is looking good. Yeah, I don't know. So marginal spots like this, I probably go back and forth on. I'm just trying to kind of guess. So that's the dilemma you have in this game. If you're drawing anything more than, like, you might have dilemmas if you draw 1. So if you have a easy decision with your 5 card draw hand and you got to draw 1, you might like have occasional dilemmas pop. The dilemma, I guess, would be should you stand pat or draw? And if you stand pat, you're definitely capping your 5 card draw to a good 2 pair or whatnot. Or at the and then the trade off to capping it would be like you have that 1 card which probably contributes a little bit to your PLO board, but it's probably not like super good because usually how often, I mean, how critical could that 1 spare card be? If it is, then you have no dilemma. You just stand pat, and then your 5 card hand is capped. You have your critical card, no dilemma. But I mean, more often than not, you're not going to have too big of a dilemma if you draw 1. The dilemmas definitely, I think, come when you have to draw 2 or draw 3, and then yeah, you're generally, you gotta just try to kind of crunch the math, and I'm doing it very crudely when I do it, and I probably am doing it incorrectly sometimes. Um, but you find yourself in these situations like, would I rather have a backdoor flush draw Or would I rather have a gut shot draw? You know what I mean? Like, or would I rather have, excuse me, let me say, like, would you rather have this for the PLO hand, or would I rather have that for my draw hand? And, you get into those dilemmas um, quite often. Seems like almost half the hands you have to, like, think. And they all feel like they're kind of marginal, like not the, obviously they're going to be marginal, are going to be the hard decisions because, you know, as long as you have like a decent amount of experience with any poker game, like you've thought about this stuff before. So all the easy stuff you've already worked out a long time ago in poker. But in this game, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We'll talk about Deuce to Seven next week, but Deuce to Seven is a fun game. I don't, and you get in like the dilemmas in that game will haunt you. I'll tell you that if you make the wrong decision. The dilemma in Deuce to Seven is should I break or should I not break? And that's something that comes like when you're under pressure and you're dealt like a marginal hand. It's like you got to figure out if you have to improve or if it's good as is. So the toughest decisions in Deuce to Seven are actually draw one situations, probably. And maybe if everybody's playing this game correctly, that would be the same for this game. But because Deuce to Seven, I think the ranges are pretty easy to figure out uh, whether you're playing or not. And you don't have a lot of flexibility in that game. So, yeah. Deuce to Seven, I think if you're playing it with good people, draw threes are pretty rare. And you're either drawing one or two. And then your huge dilemmas are going to be draw one versus Pat. And this game, I actually don't know what a good, what it would be like witnessing very great play of this. I suspect in this free roll, nobody here, including myself, was anywhere near amazing. Um, but even if good players are playing, I suspect that they're getting in there more with draw twos and draw threes, even perhaps, maybe not. Um, so yeah, this one I got dealt. Yeah, it looked like I had just a pair of queens. I ended up picking a third queen up. I have some combos. It looks like I hit a straight, backdoored a flush, and pretty big hand. Alright, so hopefully I've covered all the basic overview. I'll try to just get into breaking down the hands from here on out. That looks like a fairly weak hand. I don't even know if that'd be worth calling with no action to me, so that's, yeah, definitely an easy fold there. Here we got two pair, so that's probably going to be a race pre-flop. See what I did. Surprised I called. Yeah, I don't know if that was smart. Maybe I thought I was trapping since the one guy was all in, but I probably should have raised that to get definitely make sure the small blind was folding. But we'll see what I do. Yeah, 9 is not so great. Mid pair on a PLO hand, not too valuable. I can probably get a better hand, or it's worth a gamble to try to improve my. Well, here's the tricky part. What do I want exactly? Um, Ace of clubs is kind of nice. It gave me a chance to backdoor flush. Probably more useful than a lone 9. But yeah, we chopped. See, a 9 wasn't good enough, so it's fine to dump the 9. But at the same time, I don't know what I really wanted there. Perhaps a queen. Because 2 pair, Jackson 8s is probably good. And it's hard to improve 2 pair to a full house. And if you do, it's probably overkill. So if I had top pair, I would have stood pat for sure, you know? Like if I had top pair on the PLO board. Here we got pair of aces, suited ace queen. We got a straight draw. I don't know why I'm throwing away the 3 of diamonds. I probably should just throw away the 4. Apparently, I want the 4 because it's on the board. I should throw away just the 4. I guess I wanted. Yeah, it's strange that I went that way. See, if I throw away the 4, I have a chance of picking up a diamond draw. I think it would have been worth it. I don't think that paired 4 on the board helped me too much. Because I have 2 outs basically for that 4 to be exciting. Like if then I have trip 4s, but I don't know. See, that's where the marginal things come in. Would you rather have a low pair or a backdoor diamond opportunity? I mean, I didn't even have the backdoor locked in, so probably it's probably smarter to keep your made pair. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I don't know the answer to in this game, and all marginal stuff though. This is like, you know, those like stuff that's like literally like 5% chance of landing type things. But I mean, that's something. All right, so here we have 2 pair in hand. We have full house on the board. So yeah, we're just hoping to get more money in here. Good chance we'll get it all. Yeah, maybe I thought this would look less strong than min bet click back, but yeah, I don't know. I think this is all right because this, if this guy has one good hand, he'll go with it, not knowing how strong I am on both. Ace would be a disaster sometimes, but I am blocking aces with 1 ace, thankfully. But yeah, if he had like pocket aces, that would have been a terrible card. I probably would have lost half the pot. And he might have been ahead of me um, on the other one. All right, here I got just a pair of jacks. Probably should call since there's a AFK blind, big blind. It wasn't a large bet either, but in some scenarios I could see myself folding that hand, but not with that action, I guess. We got a club draw, not the best club draw, but it would probably work. I feel like, yeah, since it's a split pot game and the hands are so completely different, you don't have to put your opponents on as high of range on the PLO hands for sure. So, like second or third nut flushes play a lot better on the PLO than you would think. It seems like, and like I said, I could have just got lucky and not ran into as many problems as I should in this game. I don't know. But it does seem like, logically, you could say if somebody's putting half their effort into a 5 card hand, their range is going to be a little lower on the PLO. Although you do get a draw which will lead to way more opportunity to improve either hand. But in spite, I think since half your efforts are towards your 5 card hand, overall, I would say you can put somebody at a lower range for the PLO hand than you would if you were playing straight PLO. Yeah, I'm curious. Now I gotta read up on this game. I gotta see what's out there. I don't know if there is a lot out there. But would be interesting. Alright, so this one, just watching these two go at it. Probably could have edited this one out. Hopefully we see something interesting happen at least. Let's see. Alright, I'm first place. I just saw that. 7 pay. I didn't catch how many people were left. Maybe next time I pop that mini up, let's pay more attention. All right, here we isolated somebody. We got ace high. Deuces. Curious what I do here. Um, Probably keep the spades. I got a flush draw. That's obvious. Maybe get rid of everything else. Yep, I guess that's what I was thinking. And then we're gonna hope to pair the ace and the 7, or get a new. Yeah, I would say just. All right, that looks like it's probably gonna be a chop. Yep. All right, so this hand pretty bad. Looks like a fold. Next hand, we got aces and deuces. So I'll probably bet that one, I would think. Look at that, we just did the min click. Interesting. See what he does. He went all in. Alright. So we have a straight draw. We have a queen. Probably keep the queen. I would stand pat. I don't know why we did that. That was absolutely stupid. We did pick up the flush draw though, but we'll see what happened. Now I say it was absolutely stupid, but he ended up with a straight, so we actually did need to improve our draw hand to win that. So, but mathematically, how do we know he has a straight? He was, I mean, he was pushing hard pre-flop, so maybe I was concerned about the strength of my 5 card hand. Yeah, I don't know my exact thought back then, to be honest. I think I thought I had to get lucky for the PLO hand, and a queen would not be good enough. So I was hoping to improve the 5 card hand and hit my hit my draw on the board. However, I might have lucked my way into the PLO hand, so maybe it was stupid. Maybe the normal outcome of what I did would have resulted in losing it all. That one I'd have to break down the equities separately. Think about it. Yeah, I've never. I don't know if they have any equity calculators for Dramaha, but you could definitely do it separate, like a 5 card one and a PLO one. Well, 5 card PLO one perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, it's. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Get back to you guys, but I don't really run equity calculations off of Texas Hold'em anymore. I feel like I know that game enough when it comes to that. Um, that game, though, eventually maybe I want to start looking at GTO charts. And I've definitely looked at pre-flop charts a lot for that game. But with that being said, I don't really run equity calculations for Texas Hold'em. But I do for PLO when I play that. 4 card PLO. And I've never done it for anything else yet. Alright, here. Yeah, we had 2 pair and the overpair, which was good enough. He had a similar hand. He had 2 pair and an overpair, queens and nines, but mine was a notch better for both. So I got the whole thing. Big hand. Here I have pocket eights. Not a great hand, to be honest, but there is an AFK big blind. He did come back. I'm sure I was influenced, thinking it would be a dead blind. And now that he came back, that was unfortunate. Picked up a flush draw with queen eight. This one seems like a very obvious decision. The only thing is, should you keep the king and take 2 draws? Because you could get a backdoor straight draw. Yeah, I probably should have kept the king and took 2 single draws. Because you get 2 cards either way, you know what I mean? I don't think. Yeah, with that being said, if you're playing against bad people who aren't going to use your information against you too well, which this is the case, I don't think there's very good reason to ever draw 2. You should just draw 1 twice if you have to, you know? Uh, yeah. The only reason you'd want to draw 2 instead of drawing 1 twice is if the 2 cards you're discarding are absolute garbage. But if one of them has any value whatsoever, probably should keep it. All right, here we got a straight. Could have had the backdoor hearts, but I guess we don't care about the backdoor heart, not flush draw. Maybe we're hoping a 6, 7 hearts would be good enough, anyways. Improved our straight, but see what I do with it. I kept it. No, I think I kind of disagree with that because even though I improved the straight, what we're blocking somebody else from having that queen. We had open ended in our 5 card hand, so it probably would have been worth trying to improve our 5 card hand. However, maybe we're setting ourselves up for a bluff. It looks stronger not taking a second card. Yeah, so setting up the bluff, that's another thing in play. And I believe they saw I picked up the queen, so that actually makes it maybe screaming. Maybe it makes it super obvious I have the straight, which, like I said, I'm semi bluffing there because I could very well have that PLO hand blocked up, but I definitely did not have anything going for my 5 card hand. All right, what am I doing? I have a gut shot. Here I have 2 pair, so I'll probably stick with that and hope for a chop. So now I have a full house. So I have so much confidence here. I'm just going to try to bluff him off the chop. See if it works. Nope, it didn't work, but pretty safe to say we'll chop that. All right, look at that. The big blind is AFK, and almost their whole stack is in there. We got a weird, low two pair, but it's still a two pair. So I probably will just shove and put the pressure on this guy to isolate. Also, wouldn't hurt to get that guy to fold for sure, because you never know. He could come back. We just saw it happen before. So let's make, yeah, guarantee he will not win. Look at that. We got bottom set. So this one is extremely easy decision. You get rid of the three. That has no value. That connects with the board. Now that's kind of tricky. Do you want that second pair? Probably not, since you have bottom set. How often is that 10 going to be useful? Rather take a chance at a queen or something. There we got our full house. And yeah, that was beautiful. We won both pots. All right, look at that. We got dealt two pair right at this new table. Gonna open, see what this guy does. Yeah, so this site, I don't know what's going on with the avatars. Look, we're all like clubs. I've never deposited any money. I've only done free rolls on this. So I don't really know how you unlock new avatars. Apparently it's hard to, and they don't have default ones. I tried to change it. I didn't see anywhere I could, so I think I still have to earn them. This site is kind of weird. You also have to earn like their fake currency, which I haven't earned any of that yet. All I've done is free rolls and like super cheap stuff with zero rake. So I think to get their fake currency, you have to place games with rake. But yeah, you have to earn a certain amount of fake currency to even use their chat. So I can't even, as of today and the foreseeable future, I can't even type in their chat box, which is weird. Very weird. Anyways. Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned yet, but if you see any of my like buttons clipped off, I apologize. I didn't capture this originally very well. I'll never make that mistake again. But I mean, you can follow all the action on the table graphics anyways, so not a huge loss. But yeah, definitely some of my buttons got cut off. All right, so this hand we have. We could pick up a heart draw, perhaps. We have an ace. We have threes. Yeah, we wanted the heart. All right, we picked up top two pair on the board and a pretty bad hand for the five card hand. So maybe I'll try to bluff off the chop. Nope. Decided to play it passively. We are blocking a heart, but that actually brought in the flush. Still don't want to fold. He actually had the flush and the full house. We were super lucky there to get half the pot. River to full house. So yeah, very, very lucky. We'll take it. Here we have four spades. Not a lot. If we just open, we win though. So forget that. The guy's not even there. Now we got kings. Good suited ace. So this looks like it's borderline premium. I don't want to go as far to say it's a premium hand, but probably worth an open. All right, probably get rid of maybe the jack and the four. If I had to guess, let's see what I do. You can't break the kings, and you don't want to break the ace. You have the backdoor spades, and an ace is always nice. That's not a good run out, but we did manage to get half the pot with the kings. Here we got a really bad hand. I should fold it probably. That looks like one of the worst hands you could get. I think we discussed what the worst hands would look like in this game. And that is. I mean, we at least had two suits. The only thing worse would be if that was four different suits. All right, here we got eights. This is probably something I'm going to fold just because of the position. Might be worth limping in or opening on the button, but under the gun. Well, we're under the gun. The one guy is AFK, but we do have someone else. I mean, that would be the good position post flop, actually, but whatever. I don't think that's that great. I'm fine folding it. Now, I think we're at the final two tables. I'm not exactly sure. This hand is not super great. I guess I'm turning it into a semi bluff. We have an ace in our hand. And he limped, so blind versus blind. I don't even know if that's an above average hand, but we do have the ace, which kind of blocks his ace combos. Might be a good spot for pressure. It worked. We know that much. Seemed reasonable. Here we have nothing. We have absolutely nothing going for us. We have a gut shot straight. That's we actually hit our straight. Very lucky. We couldn't even like bluff or anything. We're against the AFK player. So yeah, hand for hand starts a little bit early here. Let's see. We are first place, 10 left out of 55, 7 pay. And I feel like we've been first place ever since that first double up. Been pretty smooth sailing. Here we have pretty bad hand. I probably should have folded that to anything. I mean, even if nobody entered the pot, I should have folded that. But yeah, definitely to pressure. This hand is a premium for sure. I can tell you that much. I think any trips in this game is a premium, let alone aces, let alone two suited aces. We got two. We got the ace of spades, suited spades, and the suited clubs for the PLO board. So that would be good. Yeah, we obviously want to get this in ASAP. Um, ditch the. I guess we're ditching our backdoor club. No, we don't need that club. That's or excuse me, spade. Ditching the backdoor spade at a chance of improving one of them. Didn't need it. He had trip twos, and he had really nothing going on for his other two cards. So we scooped, eliminated him. We are now down to the final 8. Some reason our table only has 3 and they have 5. That makes no sense. See if they balance it soon. You would think on an online poker site they could balance it pretty much instantly, but maybe there's something holding it up. Oh, here we go. I might have edited some stuff out here because I'm guessing this is the final 5 now. Because if they moved me, that makes no sense because they have another unbalanced table. So let's assume this is the final 5. I don't know what I'm doing here. I have tens. It's probably a bluff. I guess it might be good for the PLO board. I kept the 5 just in case. Don't really know if that 5 is all that useful. Like I believe I did tell you guys my philosophy on lower hands, you're keeping it. You have like a 5% of improving it, and you know it's not Texas Hold'em where any pair might be good at any time. Like even though that was top pair on the flop for a PLO run out, that's not going to be anywhere near top pair by the time the run out's over. So yeah, that five probably was stupid to keep, to be honest. But all right, here we got. I don't even know what's going on here. We got a low flush draw, but we do have flush draw. Um, yeah, it looks like we chop it, and yeah, I think I won the PLO board with that with two pair. Maybe adjust that ace was good enough. All right, let's see. Opening. This is pretty much a bluff. I only have ace high. It worked. All right, yep. Final five. In the money. First place at the moment. Don't really need to pop that thing up, that turning info, because it's the final table. You really only need that information when there's a different table running. But whatever. Maybe I was making sure it's the final table. Here we got a flush draw, I suppose. Nothing else going for me, really. Missed. And we missed. We have a terrible five card hand. We have absolutely nothing. Probably going to fold to anything. We picked up a straight draw. Still not even. I mean, it could definitely be behind even if you hit your straight. So, yeah, if all your hopes and dreams are on the PLO board in this game, that's not the greatest spot to be. Unless you have an absolute monster, at least, in the PLO board. But all right, we got an all in. Looks like I got a decent spade draw. I have three fives, more importantly. So yeah, pretty good idea to pump that up. Not a great board. I don't know what, like, yeah, based off everything I've figured out, I would have dumped the eight. That eight's not gonna do me any good. I guess the thing with the eight is it could lead to a weird two pair, you know, but not very likely because I literally have three fives occupying my main hand. So that would make more sense if I had a more variety of cards, but I didn't. Yeah, pretty dumb to keep that eight, but I chopped. With the trip fives, of course. See, I'm the only one sitting out of this hand so far. Didn't see the outcome of that hand exactly, but we lost a person. Here I have jacks. Probably gonna fold it. We'll see what I do. I might flat, knowing that the guy behind me can't go over the top of me. That's tough. Probably a good fold, given the situation. It wouldn't have been really the greatest flop. I think I have a club draw, but not a good one. Would have had, but all right. We'll see the outcome of this. Best case scenario would be for flatulence. Great name there to get eliminated. It did happen. Final three. I got that's definitely a premium three-handed. It's like a two decent suits, pair of queens, and then like high cards for good combos, good playability for the PLO hand, obviously. If I get any action, probably just fold the 7 here. 7 connected, but yeah, we'll bet, see what happens. He folded. Don't even have to think about it. That really wasn't the best flop, so kind of glad he folded. All right, this hand we have, yeah, probably above average three-handed, but this is definitely feels like a bluff. Three, three good cards that could have good playability with this PLO board, but we have nothing going for us at the moment in the draw hand. It worked. All right, next. Yeah, I don't know. Playing it safe. I probably know folding there that there's a good chance that Catfish was going to just want to isolate anyways. I'm basically inviting him to force it in. And with that being the case, there's a 50-50 chance, that Drew has less money at the end of that hand, but not there. He actually, I think he won both those pots. So yeah, he actually doubled up there. Looks like I had a walk possibly with a good hand. That was all right. Pocket pair. You got the diamonds. All right. What do I do? Probably dump the 7 and 5 is my guess. There's backdoor potential with those, but really probably not worth it. It's not even like exciting backdoor potential if I get there, so I picked up an extra jack for my hand, and also I have a full house on the PLO board. Amazing hand. And both of them won. Heads up now. All right, we opened kind of a bluff, ace high. Not the worst case in the world. Probably would have called off if we had to. I mean, it's heads up. Anything, probably anything could happen. Probably just like PLO, anything can happen. Heads up. So probably should be calling off pretty wide if you have to. Um, yeah, we missed everything. Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy decision. Don't want to double the guy up there, and that was just a complete miss. All right, so we folded. Didn't really see what that hand was. Looked like it was pretty bad. Lucky to get a walk there. That's not a great hand. Um, Based off my sense, I I could be wrong. That might be better than I think, but it didn't look great. Uh, that we had four spades and an ace king, pretty good. Here we got a pair of fives. Probably would have defended it. Would not have raised it. However, we got the walk. Here, this feels like a bluff. A pair of fives is not that great. Luckily, we got a fold. Yeah, I might just be bluff this guy if we think we can get away with it. Why not? Seems like he seems like he's pretty tight. All right. There we called. Maybe just to mix it up, because that could have definitely been a fold. I feel like I folded worse than that. But here we are. We made it to the flop, and we smashed the PLO board. We really got nothing going for us in our 5-card hand. There we improved to a set of kings on the PLO board and just a pair of kings in our 5-card hand. So very good. Looks like he missed a straight and had absolute garbage. So yeah, that is that. We won that. So that's beautiful. Yeah, they pay out in Bitcoin here, so let me show you what we won. If I can find it. There we go. Look at this. We won that. Not the most exciting thing in the world, but hey, better than nothing. I don't know what this is worth exactly, but it's worth less than $1. So not the best thing I've ever won, but it's better than nothing. Anyways, that's all I got for you on this Dramaha. I hope you enjoyed. Join me next time for Deuce to 7 single draw, and that's all I got. See you next time.